It's quiet. Nobody speaks. Not a single person dares to break the silence. Any second now. Any second. SCP-7076. The graduating class of 76. Object Class: Keter. Containment Protocol. Individuals that correspond to the following SCP-7076 criteria are to be monitored until September 21st, 2076. Subject lives in the United States. Subject regularly attends a facility specializing in secondary education. Subject is currently following an academic trajectory that will culminate in graduation of secondary school in the spring and/or summer of 2076. Subject is below the age of 21. Due to the unknown range of SCP-7076's effect, secondary schools across Canadian and northern Mexican regions are to be extensively monitored as well. Due to the scope of the projected anomaly, successful containment has been deemed nigh impossible without the use of mass amnesticization of the general global population. Upon the occurrence of the first wave of SCP-7076-1 events, news outlets are to be fed disinformation campaigns that reframe SCP-7076-1 occurrences as mass tragedies. Signal suppression is to be enacted in the vicinity of SCP-7076-1 events in order to stifle the flow of information and prevent the destruction of the Veil. Upon the second and third waves of SCP-7076-1 events, a media blackout is to occur regarding information leaving the United States, with all Foundation artificial constructs working at full capacity in order to generate and replicate informational output resembling baseline American activity. The entirety of the United States is also to be placed under complete martial law organized by Foundation input. It is currently unknown whether the large amount of upcoming SCP-7076-1 events will be influential enough to constitute an RK-class reality restructuring scenario. If this is so, containment protocol is to be abandoned, and sufficient measures are to be activated. The principal makes her way to the podium. She taps the microphone. She takes in a breath. It's deafening, breaking the silence like a gunshot. The principal then opens her mouth and begins to speak. Description: SCP-7076 is the designation number for a series of phenomena targeting the projected graduating American high school class of 2076. Officially coined on the 13th of August 2068, SCP-7076 was initially the designation for a statistical theory regarding the potentiality of an uptick in anomalous activity pertaining to American adolescents. More specifically, SCP-7076 targeted the attendees of secondary public institutions, though mainly being centered on high school seniors that are to graduate in the late spring and early summer of 2076. Upon its creation, SCP-7076 was strictly theoretical in its actual influence on the public, proposed as a possible encroaching threat due to the high frequency of prior anomalies that targeted American high schoolers in between late 1975 and early 1977. As is policy standard for projected anomalistic activity, various high-level Foundation computational engines were fed portions of the SCIPnet archival and research database in order to parse the information given in order to connect data points and form generalized predictions for future containment efforts. After 2 weeks of review, the F-19 Anomalous Prevalence Computational Engine, in collaboration with 4 Turing Standard Artificial Statistical Analysis constructs, produced its results regarding SCP-7076 on the 22nd of October, 2068. These results confirmed the predicted likelihood that SCP-7076 would, in fact, increase in both number and severity, with models explicitly stating the high probability that this second wave of anomalies could possibly dwarf the recorded number of incidents that initially occurred in 1976. SCP-7076-1 designates a localized reality shift that is to occur during or immediately following a completed American high school senior graduation ceremony. The results of an SCP-7076-1 event are currently inconclusive, though the presented data suggests it will involve the sudden violent deaths and/or incorporation of all attendees. Statistical models also suggest that the sheer amount of SCP-7076-1 events in the following late spring and early summer of 2076 may potentially cause a reality cascade and mass reality restructuring event. Please contact your site director in order to be assigned a research team. The band has started playing. Do you know this song? It is both a familiar yet unfamiliar tune. Something heard in the distant possibility of a memory, or a faded dream. Addendum 7076 1. Timeline of events 31st of May 2069. 4 high school sophomores go missing in the midst of the school day. The incident was initially brushed aside as an instance of skipping class, though all 4 students were not friends, nor were they part of an existing friend group. Security cameras in the hallway capture the students entering a supply closet before closing the door behind them. The closet was found empty with no exit points other than the main door. 26th of August 2069. 12 high schools in the state of Iowa within a 50-mile radius do not open as planned for their first day of classes. Students and staff were unable to enter buildings on school grounds, as both key cards and physical keys were useless in bypassing security locks. Several students claimed that they could see movement through various windows of the building, with 2 students reporting that they saw the classrooms were filled with doppelgangers of the student and staff body. 1st of September 2070. Michelle Eastman, a biology teacher at Leadville High School in Robinson, Oregon, is reported to have initiated a lesson that was not in the class itinerary. The topic of the lesson regarded the effects of sound frequency on cellular bodies, in which she produced and powered on an antique radio circa 1950. The audio quality was discordant and caused pain and migraines to those present. Afterwards, students reported the persistent feeling that they had forgotten something important, though this faded over time. 2nd of September 2070. During a broadcasted speech, Senator Denise Rivera, Ohio, congratulates the graduating class of 2076, stating that she will work her damnedest to push all Ohio students into the empty, lonely, and lovely future that they deserve. Miss Rivera's eyes then roll back into her head, and she falls to the ground seizing. The signal is cut through Foundation media tampering. I'm happy that we spent so much time together. It's strange to see it all go, though. Someone in the audience twitches. Email from systemalert@admin.skip.net. 2. All staff. September 1st, 2070. Please be aware that anomalies within the SCIP database related to SCP-7076 have been declassified to all staff with Level 3 clearance. Research groups are to report new findings to their assigned site director. SCP-7076 related incidents are to be immediately recorded with teams dispatched to amnesticize affected subjects. Disinformation campaigns are to be disseminated at director's discretion. The first row of students rises to its feet. They turn ever so slowly. They know the role that they are playing. They know what is about to happen. 31st of December 2075. SCP-1833's storage locker explodes outwards due to intense pressure originating from inside. Investigations reveal the cause to be hundreds of partially shredded and destroyed yearbook pages that appear to have been spontaneously generated from within SCP-1833's binding. Due to the intense pressure, most of these pages were shredded to such an extent that the contents were illegible, though the few fragments that could be recovered depicted the fully alphabetized headshots of various current high school seniors from across the United States. 9th of January, 2076. Plymouth Regional High School, located in Plymouth, New Hampshire, experiences a shift in which several blocks of lockers immediately sink into and through the floor. Witnesses do not acknowledge the event when questioned. 14th of January, 2076. Bayonne High School, located in Bayonne, New Jersey, experiences a 28-second period of time in which all its students and staff become unable to recall memories pertaining to the school building and their time spent in it. Momentary mass panic ensues before all students and staff immediately regain their memories, with the incident being explained away as an instance of mass hysteria. The students make their way up to the podium. Email from systemalert@admin.skip.net. 2. All staff. January 14th, 2076. Anomalies within the SCIP database related to SCP-7076 have been declassified to all staff with Level 1 clearance. Research groups are to report new findings to their assigned site director. Staff counseling is available to all Foundation personnel and is mandatory for employees that have children. The students have collected their diplomas. They've all gone back to their seats. Their loved ones stare on from behind, from the left, from the right. Nobody blinks. Nobody breathes. 1st of June, 2076. Camp Kanab reopens unbeknownst to Foundation operatives. Multiple youths from neighboring towns claim to have been mailed flyers promoting the camp and its high pay rates. 1st of June, 2076. Foundation operatives identify an after-school tailgate event taking place in Westview, Colorado that is sponsored by Syncope Symphonics in tandem with the administrative body. All attempts to neutralize the event were unsuccessful, and the local band initiated a performance that registered at 340 decibels. No attendees reported any detrimental effects. 1st of June, 2076. Approximately 100,000 Polaroid photographs manifest in homes throughout the continental United States, with 3 located in Alaska and 7 located in Hawaii. Citizen testimony reveals all photographs to be instances of SCP-1423. 2nd of June, 2076. 34 high school students are admitted to the local hospital in Fraw, North Dakota, after all falling unconscious during lectures in class. Brain scans show each student to have entered a comatose state. 2nd of June, 2076. At 8 a.m. local time, Salvation High School is surrounded by hundreds of individuals all holding hands. Though their faces are obscured, their overall appearance correlates to the citizens of Salvation, Indiana, circa June of 1976. Salvation High School then begins violently shaking before sinking into the ground. It is currently unknown whether or not SCP-3935's entrance is still accessible. 2nd of June, 2076. Lake Tobesofsky's water level begins rapidly rising and floods the surrounding town of Dearborn County, Georgia. SCP-2316 instances begin drifting into residential areas through the floodwaters. Evacuation efforts ensue. The principal makes her way back to the podium. She leans into the microphone. She opens her mouth. Email from systemalert@admin.skip.net. To all staff. June 3rd, 2076. Various mobile task force units have been and are currently being deployed to the grounds for SCP-7076-1 events. Please be aware that abandonment of your post is grounds for immediate firing and blacklisting. Under no circumstances are Foundation personnel allowed to bring familial offspring onto site premises. Doing so may introduce a vector for mimetic infection. Personnel caught doing so will be blacklisted and all individuals will immediately be escorted off the grounds. I am so sorry. 05-9. We've had a great year, haven't we? September 2076 File Update. Item Number SCP-7076. Object Class Pending. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-7076 does not require containment, see below. Description: SCP-7076 was a series of escalating anomalous incidents that occurred across the United States and primarily targeted the senior high school graduating class of 2076. Foundation statistical models predicted SCP-7076 due to previous data and recorded history regarding a series of violent anomalous occurrences that victimized the high school senior class of 1976. Foundation statistical models also predicted a culmination resulting from various reality failures occurring at graduation ceremonies across the United States. While anomalies pertaining to the class of 1976 experienced heightened activity, there was no resulting cascading event at any ceremony within the country. Cant counters were eventually brought to various random graduation ceremonies, with resulting measurements displaying no deviation from baseline Hume levels. Following the summer of 2076, all anomalous activities pertaining to SCP-7076 and SCP-7076 related anomalies ceased. SCP-7076 is currently being decommissioned and will be archived within the Foundation's database. The crowd cheers. Grad caps go flying high into the air. Tears of joy and sadness are spilled. The sun shines bright. Photos are taken from every which angle. Every single face is smiling. It truly is a beautiful summer day. Thank you for listening to SCP-7076, the graduating class of 76. If you enjoyed this SCP, please like and subscribe, and follow the link in the description to the SCP Wiki, and vote it up to support it and the SCP Wiki as a whole.